Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a collective or general reading, so please just be aware that parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, just leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it right now, it's the perfect time for you. And if it has been some time since I posted it, what was going on in your life at that time? It might give you some more clarity on your situation that you're currently searching for information for. So we're going to begin with the underlying energy at the bottom of the deck. And for the overall reading, it is the Queen of Wands. All right. So the Queen of Wands, she's sitting on her throne. And she is known to be one of the most, she has a very happy disposition. She's holding a sunflower. It's showing that she follows her happiness. She follows the sun. So the energy, you know, if you know about sunflowers, they follow the sun, and so does she. The veil behind her represents the veil between the spiritual world and the 3D world, as well as representing intuition and logic. So she's able to combine her intuition and her logic so that she has creative solutions to problems. And she's very innovative in that way. Her element, of course, is the wand. And this is made of wood. So this represents ancestors and also the offshoots. Like this is a tree, deep roots of the ancestors, and the branches representing the descendants. So she also has a little black cat here, and this cat is representing that, you know, she does not, speaking of cats, are you coming up here? My cat was sound asleep in the other room, and I thought I might get away with doing a reading without you on my lap, but nope. She heard I was doing a reading, and she comes flying in. Did you hear there was a cat here? Yes, there's a cat on the card. So this is a black cat. And so this energy is, the intuition of cats. Hey, Stella? Yeah. And so she's getting happy feet here, and so she's going to start purring. And her job is to lay on my lap like a good girl and raise the vibration with your purr. Thank you. That's a good girl. And so, this energy is talking about creative solutions to problems and being able to move forward. She's also considered to be like a natural beauty and the sexiest of all the queens, that kind of energy. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles represents planting seeds so that for the future, to reap a harvest. And so this energy is talking about learning the give and take of pentacles. So pentacles represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. And so abundance of the material, etc., like of living a good lifestyle, that basically. And you'll notice this person is giving coins to this beggar, but this one, they're not giving anything to. They're holding a scale of justice over this one's head. And then if you look closely, this person has something in their pocket already. So they don't really need the money. And that's the discernment that you need to learn as you go through life, is recognizing how much do you have to give away and how much do you need to take in so that you are balanced in that, you know, so that you don't overextend yourself. And the coins don't just represent money, they represent your time and your energy and how you invest in others, as well as what are your expectations of people in return. What do you that they also invest in you, and having like that balanced and fair and also balanced for yourself, that you recognize that you're not giving too much of your energy and your time and money away. You're keeping enough for yourself so that you can continue to grow. That's the kind of energy. And then we have the Ace of Cups. And so the Ace of Cups is a gift from the divine, and it is a cup of love. And so this represents quite often that it can represent, if you're looking for love, that you may have someone coming into your life that God is personally sending to you. Someone that is the perfect mate for you. And this is talking about the dove, having the peace, like having a relationship that's very peaceful and it's always flowing. It's not something that, there's a lot of controversy in the relationship or drama or that kind of energy. And so this is saying that because you've been doing good work, that you are now going to receive this. So this could be, you might be the Queen of Wands who is in this position right now, saying, okay, I'll take a cup of love. Or the Queen of Wands could be who is the divine is speaking of. We have Justice coming in. So she's sitting on her throne, and she's in between these two pillars, which represent extremes. And so Justice is actually, it's speaking about on the spiritual, and she has that banner behind her representing the veil between the spiritual world and the physical world. And this is talking about having justice on both sides. And justice begins in the spiritual realm, and it comes down to earth. That's basically the energy. And to get justice, generally, to speed it up, what you need to do is get neutral to the extremes of not ever having justice and having justice, full justice. And so this is talking about if you can get neutral to those two extremes, then you can be neutral to what's happening in between, and you're more likely to be able to work with it in a strong way, so that you finally do get the justice that you deserve. And you can see that her right foot is just peeking out of her robe here. And this is talking about she's already about to take that step forward. So this is saying if you've been waiting for justice regarding something, that justice is on its way. We have the Death card coming up. So the Death card is rarely, don't panic, it's rarely about death. It's more talking about cycles ending and new cycles beginning. And it's death and rebirth. And so we have the light after the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel kind of energy. And if you think about it, like a lot of people, when you're born, you go through the tunnel, the birth canal, and you come out into the light. And a lot of people talk about who have had near-death experiences going through a tunnel and then coming into the light. So the two experiences are very similar and also at the same time very different. But this is representing that one cycle is ending and another cycle is beginning. We're seeing a lot of this energy now. We have the king, he's been trampled. And this is not really talking about the king himself, but an archetype representing the energy of old systems dying and new systems coming in, which we're seeing a lot of that on the planet right now. We're seeing a lot of that in technology. We're seeing a lot of that just in general, all over the world. A lot happening. Okay, so now we have the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is looking in this direction. So this energy, he's noticing the change here, and the Justice. So let's see what this is about. Looking at what's happening here, and it could be about this energy here. This could be a couple, or they haven't met yet and are about to maybe become a couple, or could become a couple. So the King of Wands is also considered to be, he's very charismatic, and a lot of people really enjoy his energy. He's charming, and he's a lot of fun, and he's also a visionary. So he's not boring. Like, he's someone that loves new projects and loves to start new projects and see them through, and then when he finishes that project, then he'll begin another. He's also considered like the sexiest king of all the kings, kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. He's the type of guy that's charming, and so he is a visionary, and he does have visionary eyes. So sometimes in matters of love, he is considered a bit of a player. He enjoys the new, and he enjoys a lot of passion is the energy. And so this energy, the other thing that I just have noticed about the King of Wands, which I hadn't noticed before, this element that he's holding, this wand, and the wand that the Queen of Wands is holding, represent fire. And so this is representing the fire signs. But behind him here, this banner thing here is the energy of the salamanders in a circle, and the lion. They represent protection from fire because of the element of fire, and you'll see a little salamander there. Now, all of the face cards that in the out of the wands have a salamander on them somewhere to represent protection from fire, except for the queen here. And the reason she doesn't need protection from fire because she is the one who commands the fire. That's the energy. She sets the tone. And so this here behind him, you see we have that on here. But well, I noticed, I don't know, a few days ago, and now every time I look at this card, I can't help but notice that this looks like two eyes and like some smoke maybe coming out of the nose, and someone smoking out of the mouth here. And I feel like it's kind of saying if there's smoke, there's fire kind of energy. So it's talking about being really aware of, I feel like of the advancing energies, like of like someone who's a visionary who enjoys to see the future. And so I feel like, that saying, if there's smoke, there's fire, that's the kind of energy. They can, like, almost can sniff it out. And then we have this energy of the hermit. So the hermit is representing someone who has gone through a dark night of the soul. Really is questioning life and what's going on in their life at this time. So they climb up to the top of a mountain and they sit up there and they isolate themselves, and they don't come down until they've gotten some sort of connection through meditation and prayer and been able to get some instruction from the Most High. How am I supposed to move? What is my next move supposed to be? And you have this lantern here, and in this lantern is a star, and that star represents the North Star. The North Star represents the direction you're going, the purpose, your purpose for being here. Now, all of us have the same purpose on some level, and that is to be the best version that we can be of ourselves, to continue growing and expanding, our knowledge, etc. That is the purpose, to make this so that we leave the earth a better place upon leaving. But the energy here is talking about that North Star and following that and knowing the next step. And you can tell because his rod now is golden. And so it's reflecting that he has the knowledge of which step to take next. And it's, it's come down from the mountain now. A lot of times people, when they go and isolate themselves like that, it's very comfortable hanging out with God, and it's kind of hard to come down. But this is for ultimate fulfillment. So we have the 10 of Wands here, or the 10 of Cups here. And so the 10 of Cups is representing, like, this is the most cups that you can have in the tarot. And it's representing ultimate fulfillment and happiness. And so this is talking about, having, a partner that you really love, that you can enjoy and love doing things with. And you have 2 children, and you really love them, and they're beautiful children. And you love to parent them. And then it's talking about having, the home that you love, in the country that you love, in the location that you love, and enjoying your neighbors, and enjoying your career, all of it. You have no complaints. Life is going really, really well, that kind of energy. And so that's this bottom row, I'm making a pyramid here. And so this bottom row represents the energy of, okay, what tools do you need to be able to complete this journey? And you have a lot going for you here. You have, like, it looks like maybe the King of Wands has attracted a Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Wands has attracted a King of Wands. We have, having the Pentacles to be able to invest and seed in something so that you can reap the harvest from it later. We have the energy of justice, and justice can represent just having this good life that you're meant to have. And also, this is talking about adapting your life because it's about to change. So you're going to be moving into a brand new cycle, I feel, with a lot of opportunity. And the King of Wands is, sitting here, and so the Queen of Wands is here, and there's this enlightenment. Now, both of them may have gone and isolated themselves in 2 different places, 2 different mountains. And so this could represent an energy of that they haven't met yet, but they're destined to meet kind of energy. Then we have the rebel with a cause. So this is the tools that you do have. Stella, stop being a pain. Sorry, my cat. She's all hyper. The energy is, the rebel is coming in, and this is the tools that you have to move forward. And now we're looking at, okay, what obstacles are you going to need to face to be able to have this ultimate fulfillment energy? And to be in this energy, like of just like being chill and like, oh, everything's just going swimmingly. And then so the Knight of Wands is coming in, and this represents a rebel with a cause. And it's also, you have the 3 pyramids in the background here representing the mysteries of life. And so the rebel with a cause has, this horse represents the energy of, your emotions. And you see this big red plume on his helmet. This is showing that the Knight of Wands has quite a temper, and he is aware of it. He's learned to rein in his emotions, and that's, you can see the horse is rearing up because it's still fighting a bit right there. And so this is talking about having some sort of communication is coming in. When the knights come in, they're delivering some sort of communication, and this is about passion. So this is perhaps the King of Wands. Is in this energy, and maybe he's met this Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Wands has met the King of Wands, recognizing that this energy, these are archetypes. So this isn't talking about gender. This is talking about a male in his masculine energy, or a female in her masculine energy, and a female in her feminine energy, or a male in his feminine energy. So just keep that in mind with the archetypes. So that if it, you might need to flip the genders around. And you notice that tunic that I'm talking about with this same salamander on here. See how they have it, but she doesn't. And so that's the energy. There's some sort of communication coming in, possibly for the king and the queen, about maybe they met, and this is like, hey, would you like to go on a date? Or it could be an email, a phone call, a text message. It could be, seeing a social media post, that kind of energy. They could be meeting at an event together or something like that. That's the energy coming in. And then we have strength coming in. And so this is talking about facing your fears. This young woman is reaching into the lion's mouth, and she's reaching into the lion's mouth because she is facing her fears. That's what this lion represents, is being able to, that would be a very dangerous thing, to reach into a lion's mouth. But you can see the lion is submissive, his tail is tucked under, and that's because she does this often. Like she's facing her fears, and she's healing her inner child, basically, like fears that she's held from when she was little, that she doesn't even really know why she's afraid of them, like that kind of energy. And this is allowing her potential to build. As she faces her fears about moving forward in life, then she's able to move forward in a stronger way. And we have, so maybe she's afraid of this energy. Maybe in the past, this could represent the queen, or it could represent the king, having had lovers that were had ulterior motives, basically, is what's coming up, and it not working out very well. The energy is like these two are yoked by chains to each other and to Saturn's box. And this is talking about the energy of the devil is ruled by the planet Saturn. And so it's really deep energy. And Saturn, it takes about 29 years for Saturn to make its revolution like in Earth time. And so around the age of 28, 29, this energy is really prominent in people's lives. And then again, when someone's around the age of 58, and then again when someone's around the age of 80, if you live that long, that's or 80, what is the 3 times 28, so yeah, 84 kind of energy. So and this generally, when this energy comes in at the age of 28, 29, and then again around 58-ish, it can really have profound effects on because Saturn's a very deep planet. And so this energy is quite often talking about temptation. And when the devil energy comes in, like, you're not going to get the truth from the devil. The devil is an archetype for temptation. And so it's all about lies and manipulation and that kind of energy, and not necessarily, in alignment with what either of these two really want, but more what the devil wants. And so there's kind of like an energy underneath it of losing, well, it's not even kind of like losing your ability to have choice and having to do what the devil commands you to do, basically. And that's what people talk about, selling their soul to the devil. So when this energy comes in, the devil never does their own dirty work. So we're going to see what minion he sent in to do it for him, or does God send someone in to protect? No. So what happens is there's regret here. And you see that there's these 3 cups here. So this could be talking that the queen and the king, maybe because they are the king and the queen, but they're sitting apart from each other. And he's not even looking at her. And she's over here, kind of energy. And she's not looking at him. So this could represent maybe that there was some sort of infidelity or energy in this relationship. And there's regret. So that energy earlier where, the King of Wands has a roving eye, not just for visionary projects, but also for visionary projects that he enjoys in his passionate love life kind of energy. And so does she. So it's, it is what it is. But this is talking about there being 3 people involved in a relationship where there should have been 2, and this is, if you've heard the saying, crying over spilt milk, like, what's the point of standing there and crying over milk that's spilt in the ground? Like, you're not going to be able to recover it. But there's actually wine in 2 of these cups and some other liquid in this. So it's saying that this was outside of whatever these 2 toasted together, that it is outside of that. So this 3rd person was not a known person, and there was supposed to be 2 kind of energy. And this energy can also be talking about these 2 people having an agreement, and 3 times the agreement was broken, and it's 3 strikes, you're out kind of energy. In any case, this could be like the King of Wands regret, this could be the Queen of Wands regret, or it could be both of them in regret. And so, when you're in regret, you could stand there for the rest of your life and stare at those, and you're not going to be able to, what are you going to get down on the ground and suck the wine out of the ground kind of energy. So the best thing to do is turn around, pick up these 2 cups, and, walk down the path, cross over the bridge over troubled water, go back to your castle, and you can see even the castle in the background, it's half standing and half dilapidated. And so this is the same energy. Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? Are you going to move forward, or are you just going to stand there and regret for the rest of your life? That's the energy. And then the 10 of Pentacles comes in. So this is the most, like, here we have the happiest that you can be with love, loving everything. And now this is all the money that you can have, like, and not just money, but abundance of everything, of lifestyle. In the 3D, like having that happy, that beautiful home in the country and the beautiful neighborhood. It's raining money. You don't have to worry about the mortgage payment. You don't have to worry about having enough money to pay utilities, etc. You have really good neighbors. You can stop and chat. You have time to do so you're not overworked. You have pets. You have children. So this is talking about like the all-American dream, really. What most people strive for in today's world. Okay, so now we have this card here, which is talking about that, okay, you are at a level of mastery in whatever it is that you do. This is saying that you have your skill set, you've mastered your skill set, and people are starting to notice this, and they want to collaborate with you. The thing about this card that you have to be careful is you're in an elevated position because whatever you do is maybe unique, and not everybody can do it. And it can represent, like, the energy coming in that, hey, maybe now you've been studying and you now have the degree, or you have the ticket or the papers or whatever. This can also represent like scouts coming in from, like if you're in a sport, for professional sports, that maybe they want you to try out for the team. It's that kind of energy. The danger here with this card is making sure that the people that you collaborate with are in alignment with what you want for your life, and that you're not doing, because we just had this devil energy here, and not wanting to, and we have 3 people here. So wherever there's 3s, then you kind of, okay, like better, take a look at that, making sure that, that you're not signing contracts or signing up for something that's not in alignment with your path, that's not in alignment with what makes you happy and where you're headed. It could be very lucrative and be something that is really not beneficial for you. And this card can also talk about secret society energy, because we have the Mason energy here. Not saying that all Masons are not good, but there is some of that energy in the secret society. There's hidden ulterior motives a lot of the time for the reasons why maybe they want you to join them. You have to be aware of that. You have to be aware if you sign any contracts that or go and work for them, that what you're doing is in alignment with your goals and your what you want for your life, that kind of energy. And then that's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. And it's saying be very careful of this energy. We just had the devil here showing regret. Like, you don't want to end up like this when you have so much choice. You want to make sure. And this card, like when we have the justice come in and this card comes in, when you are swearing on a Bible in a court, you say the whole truth, I'll tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. And this is the sword of justice here. So this is saying there could be some energy here where there was something going on here that was not on the up and up. And like you already have God coming in twice with 2 aces, with 2 cups for you. And so you're highly favored at this time. Like, you don't need to collaborate with people that you don't want to collaborate with. It might take you a little bit longer, but you'll be on the path that you want to be on. And so, yes, the Fool, when he goes on his journey, the very first card he runs into is the Magician. And so this is saying, the Magician is saying, you have the tools that you need here. And whatever your thoughts are of what you want to accomplish, to bring that down to earth, this is what, you can do that. And, this is building a garden. We have infinite potential here. But he's also wearing an Ouroboros around his waist, which is a snake attached to his tail. And this is saying that you want to be really careful that you don't get caught in a cycle or a loop that you can't get out of. And we are moving out of the year of the snake on February 17th. As I'm doing this reading right now, we have a new moon tonight. And like that energy you probably have been feeling. It's about all like wanting to embrace the new and moving into new. And it's in Capricorn. And so the Capricorn energy is also ruled by Saturn. And so this is an energy, the mountain goat climbing the mountain with consistent steps of action. The Capricorn energy is the most responsible, mature sign of the Pentacles. And so like we're talking a lot of money here, the potential for making a lot of money. And so this energy tonight, that moon tonight is talking about that, build, like having that ability. Like Capricorn energy says, let's go build something. Let's go, let's create a development. Let's build a company. Let's do something really big here. Like let's go big, that kind of energy. And the Magician is pointing to this energy and to justice, and it's sitting also at the same time on 2 of the gifts from the divine, and talking about planting the seeds and having the discernment. How much are you going to give of yourself, and how much is going to be taken from you when you make these decisions? This corner is saying, I would pay attention to this right now, because Not so, it wouldn't be so much that way, except this energy came in, and it's a warning for sure. And when we move out of the year of the snake, on the full moon coming up, we have a full moon on February 1st. That full moon that's coming up is going to be in the sign of Leo, and across from that is going to be in Aquarius, is across the wheel from the Leo energy. So Leo energy is saying, I need to do what's right for me. And the Aquarius energy opposing it is saying, come and do what's best for our group, kind of energy. So this is, I feel like that's the full moon coming up on the 1st. Right now, there's a new moon in Capricorn. Then on the 1st, there will be the full moon in Leo. And on February 17th, we will be moving into the year of the horse, out of the year of the snake. And so a really good idea is at the end of this month to really look at shedding anything that no longer belongs to you, like a snake does. They shed their skin, and being ready to move into this fiery horse energy. So the fiery horse energy is kind of being represented here. So I'm paying attention because this energy is pulling at people right now. This is about having a real desire for adventure in your life right now, embracing the new. Excuse me. Embracing the new with passion, and having like that free-spiritedness. And you know, horses are all heart, and in the love life it's talking about having a lot of passion, and you know, like again, that big heart. The danger of this energy is the fiery horse energy, is that it can be very impulsive, and it can be like very like, and combine that right now with the Capricorn energy. Let's go build something. Okay, let's go, and let's like not sleep for 3 days, you know, that kind of energy. Let's go, 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 kind of like that. And then the danger with the fiery horse energy for the year of 2026 will be being able to rein those emotions in, and not being a hothead and doing impulsive things that you regret later, or making choices here that you haven't researched properly and that you haven't really looked into. The Aquarian energy is about experimenting and observing what happens when you experiment, doing it in increments, not just signing up for something that you don't really understand. It's really important, because if you get tied to it, it can be really challenging for you. And you're so highly favored right here on your path. You've already have 2 aces, 2 gifts from the universe and the divine, and all the tools that you need to succeed. And you're being recognized. People recognize, hey, that you know what you're doing. So when the magician is pointing to this, and then there's going to have to be justice for this, you might want to stay away from it, because it's also on all this money. You can bet your horses that these people wouldn't be interested in you if they didn't feel that you could make them a lot of money. That's the energy coming up. So those are the energies coming in that are really, really intense right now on the planet. And we have, you don't want to end up being left out in the cold. Because once you're tied to this, once you say to the devil, yeah, okay, I'll do this, because like, yeah, it's really good money, it's going to speed my career up 10 years here. You're tied to it. And there's a lot of tactics that you don't know about, that are underlying, that could be used against you, so that you are left out in the cold if you don't do exactly as expected by them. Be very careful here. It's being very clear. This is the energy of not having your reputation tarnished, that kind of energy. It's you know, it's sitting right on justice too, right? So, and especially when you have this energy right here and the magician on here, this is talking, you can go down the dark magic path, or you can, you know, bring the light down to earth. So which one are you going to do? We have the sword of justice here, and we have the sword of justice here. So be aware of that. And then we have the emperor. So the emperor is sitting on his throne, and he's all 4 kings rolled into one. So this is talking about you know, someone who's very wise. He's well known for having really strong business acumen. People go to him for advice. He has his armor on underneath his robe because he is ready at a moment's notice to jump on opportunities. He's all about performance. Whatever he's doing, he's at the top of his field, and he is someone that understands it very well, and that you could go to this person and get really good advice. That's kind of energy. This is someone who is an authority figure and has good control of the emotions, doesn't do things that are impulsive. He's able to rein in his emotions. He's emotionally available, like for love, etc., because he's got a more mature attitude about it. And he's very intelligent, so that's the kind of, and then we have the King of Pentacles coming in. So yeah, it's saying, I feel like you have so much opportunity here. I feel that what this is saying is that there's probably lots of people that would want to work with you. And like, don't take, like, if you're, you maybe you don't understand your own worth and how valuable you really are. The King of Pentacles is known for being very good with finances and for their business acumen. And they have a lot of knowledge about how to set up companies, banking, all of that kind of energy, how to invest, financial advisors. They understand the money. They could be like the head financial advisor of a large corporation, or be in the government and be in the, in the finance part of the government. So it's talking about, we have two figures here, like, so this is two kings we have here already. And so this is either the emperor wanting to do business with these two kings, or these two kings are becoming the emperor, and these are the qualities that they're developing as you go along in your career, kind of energy. And then we have the fulfillment here. Like, so this is about marriage now. So this is talking about, I feel like this is the journey here is, okay, you've got these tools and now you have your papers and you've mastered your skill set. You're highly favored by the universe and the divine to bring your whatever good work you do down to the earth. But you have to be careful who you work with, because there's some sort of justice here. And we have the devil here, right? And we have the emperor and the king of coins sitting right on this energy. And we have that on this card here, the transition. And so this could be what this King of Wands is looking at. Do I want to do business with these people? And so, and this is about choosing the right commitment. So now this card is talking about, definitely about commitment, the Four of Wands, but it's also talking about marriage. This is the marriage card of tarot. So it could be that this energy is now saying, I want to ask maybe the Queen of Wands, I want to see if she will marry me. And remember, these can be also reversed, because this could be a woman and this could be a man in their feminine as well as these. Having said that, I feel like it also could be this king adopting, having the life experience now to be totally in control of his own performance. And now he feels like, okay, now he's met someone and he's ready to get married and make this kind of a commitment. And then, or has done so and it ended in heartache. So this is talking like, well, it's pretty clear. There's a heart there and it's pierced by these three swords. Having said that, when you look a second time, you realize, okay, it is bad, but the heart is actually quite big here. So those swords are more like nails or pins. So he probably can recover from this energy. And then you look at it, and is that like a shelf, like a cliff with a cloud? No, or is that the throat is in, this is a throat and shoulders of a human being, and that's the head being in the clouds and making poor decisions about love kind of energy. So this energy, talking about that kind of energy, could be making a bad choice in love, and marriage that causes issues, that require justice. We'll see. We have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is representing the energy of someone who has a strong foundation for finances, and this is the 3 stages of making money. So this is going after your heart's desires or your crowning glory. So this card says, when it comes to finances, you don't want to play it too small. You want to take some risks that you've researched so that you can get ahead and go after your heart's desires and eventually your crowning glory. And that's what the King of Pentacles and the Emperor do. But maybe they're not so lucky in love because they've got regret over here in this part of the reading. Interesting. So it's kind of like we've got this energy here where you're highly favored. And then we have this energy here of having all this wonderful stuff on the edge here. But in the middle here, we have this energy that is very volatile. That's the word I would use. And so this is talking, okay, the Wheel of Fortune is turning. So the Wheel of Fortune represents that you have really good luck. That's talking again about this energy here. This is the past, present, and the future, all coming together on the wheel, and in synchronicity, that the wheel is now turning in your favor regarding whatever this situation is. So this is the tools that you have, obstacles that you come across. This is having the courage to face that and then go after your heart's desires. Now, this card, when I read it from that perspective, this card could be saying, talking about your unconscious or your subconscious mind and your unconscious mind and your conscious mind being congruent, that you've learned a lot from this life experience here. So your subconscious mind is formed by the time you're, about 6 years old, 6 to 7, and it's sitting right here on this courage to face your fears. And quite often those fears do come from your subconscious mind. And the thing is that your subconscious mind, as I said, is formed by the time you're 6 or 7 years old, and it's heavily imprinted on you. It's like an energy of you're being influenced by it all the time, but you're not even aware of what you're being influenced of, because really, if you think about it, you don't remember what happened to you when you were a baby to about 6 or 7. And so now you're relying on the people that were in charge of your care to tell you who you are. And that's what you're relying on a lot of the time because it's so heavily imprinted on you. And then we have the unconscious mind, which is what your soul needs. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm a human being with a soul. But what you are is a soul traveling in a human body. And your soul has its needs also. And if your soul's needs aren't met, you'll usually feel it through pain in your physical body, because that's your vehicle for the soul to travel in. It's the only way, really, the soul has to let you know, I don't like where you're going here. And then we have the conscious mind, what you're aware of, and on a conscious level. When all 3 of these are congruent and they come together with your heart's desires, and that's what this is, then you are able to move forward in the strongest way possible. And it's worth taking the risk once you have this all together here. So then that makes sense now. So again, we're going back to this energy of that, this being actually not about heart. It could have been heartbreak at one point, but because there was regret here in the love life, but now you have learned from that. And your wants, your needs, your desires are all coming together, and they are congruent with your heart's desires. That makes sense now. And then we have the Nine of Cups. And so the Nine of Cups is talking about wish fulfillment. And so if you think about it, when you're wishing for something, it means you don't have it yet. And so this is talking about, having everything but that one last cup that you really want and that you've always wished for since you were a little kid. And so that could be the unconditional love of being in a really strong relationship, which we're seeing here with this total fulfillment. So I feel like this is saying, this is something you wish for. So you really need to keep focused on the goal And remember here, you're highly favored by the universe and God, and you need to make sure that you're staying on your path. It's really important for you to be in alignment with what you're doing, especially now if you're going to bring another partner into this with it. And there's a lot of competition. Competition is competition. This is the only card where you have like figures fighting and they're adolescent. You know, they're not even grown-ups. And so this is talking about having an immature attitude towards competition. And so this is my Mean Girls card. It's kind of that energy of narcissistic cheerleaders who they can see the other team was better than them and clearly won, but they don't care. They want the medal, that kind of energy. And they'll do anything to win. And if they don't succeed, then their mothers will. And that's the energy. So it's talking about immature competition and you making sure that you recognize that any competition that you come across is going to be with yourself. Like once you mature, you realize even if you're on a team, that you are really in competition with yourself no matter what. You're in competition with being the best version of yourself that you can be. And so anytime you're competing, even if you're on a team, you need to be in a position where you have, you can discipline your mind and do the very best job you can possibly do. And then that competition is within yourself. And if you do that, your team is more likely to win, clearly. And then we have the never-ending nightmare. So there's something about this energy here. This can represent the energy of someone who can't sleep because they're so worried. And look at, there's these 9 swords here. And it's kind of like, it's like a Groundhog Day energy. It can also just represent real boredom, like just done with this energy. And not, like I want new. I want to move forward and I want to have this ultimate fulfillment that was promised at the, if I stayed on my journey kind of energy. And I want to have that with someone that I can trust and that I have, that I can be with, and that they have the same wants, desires, and needs that I do to stay on the same path. And so this is talking about that boredom or that never-ending nightmare of a cycle that just won't quit ending. And I feel like that's representing this energy here of being caught up in this energy. And this could be saying, like, really playing it small for yourself and taking that risk because you didn't really have faith. And so this card is talking, like, this is a general collective reading. So some may have gone for this and said, okay, I'm going to take this option and it's here. And then when the wheel turns, it's kind of like you could be stuck in this. Or it can also say that this card sometimes represents having enlightenment in the wee hours of the morning, which usually happens between 2 and 4, where the Holy Spirit steps in. And so you'll have a dream and you'll wake up from the dream and you're like, wow, like you can really remember it. And I had a dream last night and it was so weird. I was like, what is this about? Because my olive oil spilled all over the counter and it was running down the white cupboards and it was staining them. And I walked into the kitchen and I was like, oh my God, I woke up and I went straight to the counter and like, is my olive oil spilt? And it wasn't, but I could swear that I was literally wiping. I could smell it, everything in the dream. And I was like, what the heck was that about? Olive oil is about, I'm going to look into it some more. I haven't had a chance to really today. I've been really busy, but the olive oil is like an olive branch. It's like wanting peace in your life and that kind of energy. So I am going to see what that's about because it was so real. Like I could, I could see, I could even feel myself wiping it up. And I thought, did I clean it up already? Because I was still kind of half asleep, but I woke up from, it was about 4 in the morning, that kind of energy. And so when you have dreams like that, it represents something else maybe that's going on. And like this could represent a person like waking up from a dream like that and like, what the heck was that dream about? Trying to remember, because you recognize that, hey, this is something that you need to, like, somebody, the Most High was trying to connect with you and give you some information. And so this is talking about this quilt on the bed has cosmic symbols on it. So it's also talking about the universe has you covered, or it can also talk about if you're in that groundhog energy type of thing, or a never-ending nightmare, that you don't want to leave your comfort zone, and you're going to have to, because if you don't make a decision, then this is saying, hey, make a decision pretty quick here, because if you don't make a decision, the universe will do it for you, and it will be a tower. And that's, it's saying you could avoid a tower here. Make sure that you're paying attention here. And so this is talking about the world energy. So when the Fool goes on their journey, they're starting at the 0 point. And then they go through all these steps. Like the first one is the Magician, and then they go to the High Priestess, and it's going through this 21 cards, the final one being the World. And so this is talking again about the end of a cycle again. This is talking about this is the 9 of Swords. So this is talking about the end of a cycle also. This one, though, is talking about you've achieved something here. And it's time, you've achieved everything you can with this energy, kind of. That's the information. And then look at, see? For some people, this is going to be a tower and a biggie, because it's sitting here on taking this risk with the devil and being totally in regret. And everything that the devil promised has come to an end. It's not going to happen. And so this is the energy of being like, holy shift, I'm in big trouble now. And that's, people will quite often say, like, why, if there's a God, and why is God letting so much shift happen? And why are the people that do all this shift, why are they the ones that seem to live a better life? That's the common word, seem. You don't see what they're going through underneath. And this is the energy right here. This person, this could be like, hey, you have had ample opportunity to straighten this mess out, and you know what you were doing was not ethical or whatever. And this was your last chance. And you're being warned here right now, a tower is hitting, and there's going to be a change in your world. I was just saying that, make a decision or the tower is going to hit. And that if you don't make the decision, that's how the universe works. And so the tower is when lightning strikes, and it's like, oh my God, it's all of a sudden this happens. And look at, the tower hits the lightning hits the tower, and these people are falling out of the tower. One of them is like totally shocked. And the other one is like, oh shit, I knew this was going to happen. Like that kind of energy. So this is talking about, the energy that like the universe will whisper to us and say, hey, you might want to take a look at this. Like, you have to be careful here, because there's some energy here that's not going to benefit you. You don't listen. So then the energy, the universe gives you the frying pan treatment. Whack. Do you hear me now? And you're like, no, I still don't hear you. And then you get the 2x4. And that's like when, you're all of a sudden, hey, lightning strikes. How often does lightning strike? Not that often. So lightning strikes, you're knocked out of your castle. It's on fire, so you're probably not going to be going back there anytime soon. And everything's totally out of your control at this point. That was a weird energy right there. I mean, I'm not surprised by it, but I was just saying, you want to make a choice, or you're going to, oh, and there's the tower, bang, it's too late. So this is talking about the 9 of Pentacles. And so the 9 of Pentacles is like a lot of money. This is a lot of money. It's a legacy for wealth. It's talking about old money. That, so whatever is happening here, it's involving a lot of money. And this is, she has her hand on 6 of the Pentacles, and on 3 behind her. Those ones she's willing to let go of, invest in other people, invest in her family, invest in charities, etc. And she has the foresight to know that she has to look after herself first. Like, she has to make sure she always has enough, or else she'll run out and she won't be able to empower other people anyway. It's the advanced level of this energy. This is the 6 pentacles that you planted. This is saying, keep your hand on those pentacles. Keep control. Pentacles, remember, are not just money. They're about health, wealth, happiness, your lifestyle, everything. And so if you give your choice away, you don't have choice in that. This is these 6 pentacles that you planted here in the very beginning of the everything you're working for throughout this whole thing. You need to keep your hand on it. And Nikola Tesla talked about this, the 369. If you knew the beauty of the 369, then you would have the keys to the universe. And Nikola Tesla was a total genius, but he didn't have like the business acumen. And so he was taken advantage of in many, many ways. And a lot of his technology, other people have taken credit for it around the world. And then we have, at the very top here, we have victory. So this is like, okay, you are a leader. People are recognizing you as a leader because you do what you know is the right thing for you to do. And this is talking about you're able to do it because you've learned to rein your emotions in here. And so you're not like here, like down here. You've learned that, hey, to have victory, I need to rein my emotions in. And look at the horse. The horse is calm because the horse knows that its rider is not angry or overwhelmed with emotions. This horse has learned it can go into battle with this person riding it, and it doesn't matter if there's a bunch of people in the background and a bunch of noise and that. It's not going to spook. She's not even having to hold the horse in. This is talking about being in control because you have mastered your leadership skills. Really, it's a really beautiful reading in some ways. Like, it's got a lot of information in it here. Going from the bottom to the top and back down, we have this energy of planting the seeds, like beginning on your journey, and this is what you're going to reap, and making sure that you start to learn that you pay attention to the give and take of life. This is when you've mastered it. So this is talking about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth coming in. Stay on your path. This is, you're highly blessed. Like, the universe is blessing you with a lot of potential here. And this could be a wish come true for you, but you need to stay on the path. You have to keep your focus and not give in to being immature about the competition and looking around at other people and thinking, oh, they're doing so much better than me. Maybe I'll take a shortcut here. And then this is talking about mastering this, understanding this energy of, understanding how much to give of yourself, how much to take, how much to invest, how much to pay people that you hire, all of that kind of energy, and being victorious. And the reality check for you is that reality checks can be like, how often does lightning strike? Well, sometimes lightning strikes as often as you win the lottery. I think it's about the same amount. Or it could be like a situation like this, where it's like, holy shift. And so this is about which world do you want to participate in. And I feel like this is talking about how there's so much potential heartbreak here if you make choices and you take risks that are unnecessary and that you haven't researched and that you don't know what you're doing, or you don't take any risks at all. And how are you going to get this fulfillment then? Like, you have to have that balance and make choices and decisions around that are strong. And if you don't do that, the tower will hit. The universe likes order, and it's like, okay, got to knock that one off their pedestal. They're not doing anything up there. It's time to, make a shift in energy here. And then we have the fulfillment coming in of having with everything being congruent with your heart's desires. That's the ultimate fulfillment, that having everything you want and all the money and everything, but also having being able to share it with someone that you really want to share it with. And life being more of an adventure. And so I guess I feel like this is maybe speaking of the journey of the king and the queen of wands here, because that's who is in the first part of this, and this starting off with here and working all the way for this fulfillment in the end. So I'm going to clarify this. If you're enjoying this reading, please do give it a like and a comment, as it does empower me to build my channel. I really appreciate it. I'm going to clarify this with my oracle, Tales from the Vector, and that's Tails from the Vector. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. So this oracle I started in 2007, and it's I completed the 64th painting in 2020. I'm just tuning the energy into these cards here as we speak. And so we want, okay, this one wants to come out. So this is where we'll start the reading. And so in the description box below, I will put the cards and the numbers, how they appear here. And then if you want, you can go to my website. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the gallery on my website. So you can kind of look up which ones are there. So this is the card that wanted to come out. This is talking about the Gemini energy, and it's talking about the sign of Gemini. The horoscope sign of Gemini is the third sign from the beginning. So there's Aries, and then there's Taurus, and then Gemini is the age when you're going into kindergarten. So talking about life being like that, like learning this give and take is really a very important part of life. And it's kind of about like this, that you have everything you need for sure on your journey. You're highly favored, but there's going to be some learning curves here, and you're going to have to pay attention. And it's also talking about having strong communication. Mercury, the Gemini energy is ruled by Mercury, and that's about having really strong communication, both with yourself, inside yourself, and with other people, I'm getting. And then it's also talking about creative solutions, and that's sitting right on here, versus logic. So it's about using your logic as well as your intuition to make strong choices in life. And then we have the Libra energy, and this is talking about being a mature adult, and this is ruled by Venus, which is about love, and it's about being at the this is representing the age of when you are you have the degree, and you've maybe been working for a while, and now you have mastered the skill set, that kind of energy. It's talking about someone who's ready to make strong commitments and possibly start a family. And this is talking about making strong choices so that you can anticipate your journey rather than be disappointed by having expectations. Because if we go through life and we have expectations, okay, by the time I'm this age, I'm supposed to have this, this, and that. And then this energy comes along, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to take a shortcut because I've fallen behind, and it's going to be easier to do it that way. And I expected to be here by now. That kind of energy. It's more about anticipating your future and staying in alignment with your goal. And then we have, whoops, this is the energy here, lack of awareness. Yeah. Being really careful about that, researching things, looking into it, especially these days now with all the AI and everything. You have to really look into making sure that you do your research properly before you sign papers or contracts or make promises with people and that kind of energy. Because if you have a lack of awareness, it could really limit your possibilities. And then we have the Sagittarius energy coming in. So this is talking about this energy. Sagittarius energy is very much this energy, the fiery horse energy. So the fire signs are Aries, the newborn, and then there's Leo, the lion. And that's about teenage boy, impulsive energy. And then we have the energy of Sagittarius, which is like shooting, like the bow and arrow, and going after targets and really putting that action into what you're doing. And it's about adventure and all that. It's very much this energy. But the fire signs have to be very careful of this energy this year, because you're already fiery. And so you have to make sure that you don't adopt such a fiery energy that you allow your temper to get the best of you or make impulsive decisions that you regret later. And also it's talking about not burning yourself out by trying to get too much done too soon. And that's that kind of energy that we have here, like being okay at the pace you're going. I want to say here that when these horoscope signs come in, My intention is not to say, oh, okay, the Queen of Wands is a Gemini, because she's not, because she's in the fire signs. But it could be like her moon or her, like, and a lot of times you'll hear that. But my intention isn't nailing down, oh, this person's a Sagittarius, that one's a Gemini, that one's a Libra. I'm talking about the state of being of that energy, because each of these signs in the zodiac, we have they have so much potential that we can learn from, and it's talking about the state of being that sign is talking about. What are the strengths and weaknesses of that energy in itself? And we all have a little bit of the signs in us, and so this is talking about being able to learn, that kind of energy. And using creative solutions as well as logic. And this energy, so when I'm doing my readings, I'm talking about that and what stage of life is it at? What does it represent? Stage of life doesn't represent age. It's more of an energy of, like a lot of, when you're starting out and you're at this age, a lot of you have to learn a lot of new skills that you maybe have never had to use before, just like back when you were in kindergarten. And then we have, this card's been coming out a lot, and I really do feel that this is, a lot of people talk about the earth as being Mother Earth, and I feel like a lot of people are really concerned right now with what's going on in the world, and feeling kind of like there's a lot of chaos. Like if you watch the news too much, you're gonna get, you're gonna get freaked out. So like understand that the world has always had chaos in it, because the world is expanding and contracting. And when there's expansion, there tends to be a little bit more chaos. And then the chaos has to come in and into contraction, and everything's put back in order. And then it expands again. That's how we grow. And so energy is talking about, I feel like the people talking about like Mother Earth and the concerns about what's happening on Earth on a broader scale, especially in a general reading like this. There's the karmic space of intent. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and that's the energy here. You could have all the good intentions in the world to hook up with people and be in alignment with their goals, but if they're not in alignment with yours, it's not going to work out very well for you. So this is talking about making sure that anything you do, that your intentions are to be in alignment with your goal, and then allow the people that are coming towards you, whatever their intentions are, be very clear on that. Like, what is it that they really, are they valuing you because they want to use your talents for what they want, and it's nowhere near in alignment with what you want? Or are you both in alignment with each other? And so this is disruption. So what's fun for some is not for everyone, that's for sure. So like this can really take you far off your path, especially if you're really impulsive and you make impulsive decisions. If you've ever ridden a horse or seen it happen, when a horse grabs the bit in its teeth, then you have no control over the horse, and you could go for quite the ride. And the thing is about horses, if they get spooked and they start running, and you can't stop them, all you can do is hang on and hope that you don't get really badly hurt, and waiting for the horse to get calmed down. And you're in for the ride until it calms down or it gets tired enough to stop. If you're on foot, you can only get so far before you get tired, and then you realize, as you're running, and that's why a lot of people run, because it clears the mind, and you realize, oh, wait a minute, that was stupid, and you finally stop and you turn around and you go back. But on a horse like that, you could get so far off your path so fast that, it could be really challenging and dangerous. And so the perception here is that the grass is greener on the other side, and then you find out, oh, it was fake. And so a lot of times people do find that out, but it also is saying that it's all about perception, because if you really, really want green grass, you can have green grass. You just have to plant it, you have to seed it, you have to water it, you have to cultivate it, fertilize it, cut it often so there's less weeds, then you have to weed what weeds are there, and then you'll have beautiful green grass. And so everything that's worth anything generally is worth putting your energy and effort into, and sometimes it's better to do it, in the consistent steps of action that I talked about earlier with the Capricorn energy, than a fly-by-night, okay, I can cut off like 10 years here and get ahead kind of energy. we have the Tower coming in again here, right here on this energy here, being left out in the cold. So that's talking about, again, the same energy here. That there was maybe some sort of reality check here, and it was saying, hey, pay attention here. And you didn't hear it. And so then Pisces covering that devil energy, or this is the Tower, so we don't need to cover it. This is talking about, you know how I said when the universe will at first whisper to you, and this might have been the frying pan, and now you didn't hear it. And it's not to demean anyone, because like we don't always hear the messages we need to hear. We're human beings, and we're doing our best, you know, on the planet here. And so this energy here is about Pisces, and this is about being able to sink or swim. This is about authority and having, you know, like you don't want to be treading water your whole life. So it's talking about, you know, understanding that what authority is, and that you need to have your own authority in alignment. If you know Cartman, you know, he's like, respect my authority. That's what you want. You want to, but you don't want to be a bully like him. And then we have this Capricorn energy coming in again here. So that's talking, yeah, consistent steps of actions towards your goal are a much more sensible path to take. And overnight success is really, usually when people think someone has overnight success, the person is looking at them like, what are you talking overnight? I've put 30 years of my life into this, that kind of energy. We have the Chariot. So the Chariot energy is coming in, the power of spin. And this is about moving forward. This is saying that whatever is in action is already in action. And this is talking also, in my oracle, it's the yin-yang symbol in a ball, and it's spinning. And it's talking about having that perfect balance between masculine and feminine energies, and having that expansion and contraction, and being okay with it, because it can be really intense. We have the Scorpio energy coming in. I just did a reading before this one with Scorpio energy. It was really, really interesting, like just explaining a lot of kind of what's happening on the planet at this time. And so that's the energy of Scorpio at its very finest. It's about uniting people, you know, and understanding how to use emotions, like having a lot of emotional intelligence, and being able to use that to either elevate people or to conquer them. So it's kind of about, you know, if you can get into that energy of being an authority figure that really understands that about people, it makes you the best leader of all, because you bring out those qualities in other people, and instead of people competing against each other, they start to unite and like, let's come to a common purpose here. That's when Scorpio energy is at its absolute finest. And then we have the father figure energy coming in here. And so this is also talking, this could be on a larger scale, you know, about the energy of the spiritual and the physical coming together. And it being like, really, if we're all on the planet together and we're all in the universe together, everything that each and every one of us does is going to have an effect on that. And it causes, we each cause our own ripple, right? And at the very least, people might say, oh, well, what can I do? I'm just an individual. Well, at the very least, you could make yourself so you're not a big problem for the universe. And that's perfect. We have Battlestar at the top. So Battlestar energy is talking about your solar plexus. And that's the gateway between your heart's desires and your lower desires. Like your, you know, at the bottom here, we're talking about the base chakra, and that's about survival. And then moving into the sacral chakra, which is about manifesting through that powerful energy. And then being able to bring that up to the solar plexus. And when you get to that level, then you can get into your heart energy and then start using your intuition and the higher chakras. So this has really been kind of an interesting reading. I've enjoyed this. It's like really informative. It's kind of like a continuation of the Scorpio reading I just did. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it a like and comment if you have, if you've gained some knowledge from this, and I will be back with another one. Consider subscribing to the channel if you resonate with the energy. I would be honored if you did so. And I will be back tomorrow with another daily reading. Bye for now.